And we'll let everyone in. Hello, hello, hello. All right, welcome. Hi, Nakia. How are you tonight? You good?
Yeah, I'm good. It's a bit noisy in the background. The new office is proving to be not very soundproof.
Oh, don't worry. I've got a noisy background here too, so good company. There's some things you have to surrender to, isn't it, when we're doing this from home and we've got, the usual household cooking and all sorts going on here. So I hear you. How is the new space?
Big.
Is it?
It's yeah, so I've basically got a bedroom for my nail room and reception area, and then I've got a veranda width for my crystal shop.
Oh,
So very exciting.
it is. I've seen lots of photos and watched the whole build take place. So it's very excited. Very exciting. I mean, well done. So
Yes,
you're all
very
moved in?
proud. Yeah, all moved in. A few little things that I didn't realize I'd packed away trying to find, but
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, it'll take
yes,
like everything, it'll take a little bit of time just to get into the swing of your new space and fill it with your beautiful energy. Ah,
yes.
it's very good. Well, welcome tonight. Hi, Julie. Lovely to see you tonight. So glad you made it. How are you this evening? We'll just get everyone to unmute so we can just have a quick chat, and that way we don't. How are you
Yeah,
today?
I'm feeling really good. After we had the chat this morning, I did a little bit of meditation and
Nice.
bit of nurturing, and Simon's cooking the water on the stove for the pasta, and he can sort out his own dinner, and I'll catch up with him later. So
That's what we're doing as well, George.
yeah,
I cooked the sauce early and then he's just doing the pasta now. They're
same
having theirs
here.
now. We'll catch up and have ours after.
Yeah, same
Lovely
here.
to have you here. And Kendall, how are you? How's your week been?
Good, busy, but it's okay. It's good.
Good. Kendall's here tonight. She's going to be co-host, so she's going to be helping to coordinate the questions and the channeling. And I've never channeled being sick, so we'll see how we go tonight. Myra, how are you?
Well, thank you, Lisa.
Awesome. Lovely to have you here. Have you had a good week?
I have actually, yes. Yes, it's been pretty busy, but yeah, no, it has been good.
Nice. And Jolene, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, getting better. I think yesterday was probably the first day I turned the corner of this COVID virus. So it really, took it out of me. But I must admit, spending a week in bed watching Netflix wasn't such a hardship. It's kind of like the excuse we all need, isn't it, to really take some time out for ourselves.
Yeah.
All right. So tonight I've got a little icebreaker question just for fun. So have a think about this and we'll go around and ask everyone's answer. Part of the reason why I built this is to establish a really strong connection and community with each other where we can develop friendships, pick up the phone when we need to, have a chat with someone as well as, just be there and support one another. So I kind of thought it's fun to get to know each other on a bit of a fantasy level too. So if you could teleport yourself anywhere in the world, where would you go? So I'll give you a few moments to think about where you would go. I'll do the same.
Can we have two places?
You can.
Because there's no such thing as time.
I'm just going to keep muting myself every time I need to cough so I don't have to cough down the microphones if I go on and off. That's why. All right, have you got your two places, Julie? What are they?
Glastonbury in England.
Yeah.
I've been there once. Well, in this present life, I've been there once, but I just feel a real longing and pulling to return there again.
Oh, wow. Do you think that might be a past life connection, Julie?
I was told it was. I had a reading done by a priestess in one of the temples there, but I'm a a bit cynical, and I thought, yeah, she probably says that to everybody. And then it took me a couple of years to think about it, and I thought, no, she probably doesn't. But no, I really, when I was there, I felt that I'd been there before, most definitely. And when we were going down the train towards the country, I actually said to my husband, wow, I really feel as if I've been here before. I feel as if I'm coming home.
Yeah. It's
So I had that strong feeling.
Yeah.
So I was there for about 3 weeks, and I just really want to go back again, because that was 3 or 4 years ago. And so my spiritual journey has changed me since then.
Yeah.
So I'd
I
like to
bet.
do, what I experienced then again, and feel
What you
it
can
from a
pick up and
different
sense now,
perspective.
yeah.
Yeah. And the
Is that
same
in
with,
the UK, Glastonbury?
yeah, down near Stonehenge and all those
Oh,
ancient buildings, and it's just
wow.
a the energy is just incredible.
Yeah, because I used to think there's so much rich, diverse history at
Yeah.
Stonehenge, isn't it? And you just like it is kind of like the mysteries of Egypt. Like how did they get those pyramids built, without using telekinesis or sound or something?
It's vibration and energy, isn't it, really? This,
It has to be, because of its perfect mathematical equations and just
it's incredible.
stones. Yeah, I mean, engineers still can't figure it out. So it has to
No,
be a
they
technology
can't.
we're not currently using or working with, and they wouldn't have had the machineries.
That's right.
Yeah,
Incredible.
I'm drawn to Egypt as well, and the pyramids, and there's that. There's a pull there for me, and also Hawaii. And again, I've been there before, and I just felt when I flew into Maui, there was just this sense of love, and when we left the place, it was a real sadness, like a real connection to the food there that I felt. So yeah, quite often if I could teleport, I'd probably pop all over the place. Let's be honest, it'd be hard to stick to one. But yeah, where was the first place you'd where would be the first place you'd go, Kendall?
I'd have to go to Central America somewhere, because it's been on my to-do list for like 20 years. I actually did a past life thing that said that in 400 AD I might have been a farmer or something somewhere in South America. So I've never been over there, but I definitely feel a strong affiliation.
Yeah, and like the Machu Picchu Trail, is that South America?
Yeah, Machu Picchu,
yeah. Is that where you'd want to go?
I'd go all over. I don't even have a pinpoint. It's something over there. I gotta find out.
Oh, that's good.
Nikia, how about you?
I have a funny feeling I'll probably go off planet.
I knew someone would say that. Where would you go off planet?
Well, I've been doing a bit of research, and after opening up some new cards that I got and doing some visualization, I have a funny feeling I'll land up in the Arcturian star belt, because I feel as though the view from there is what I've already seen in my Reiki. So I think I'll go up there somewhere.
Cool. Go into the galactic world. Awesome.
Why not?
Why not? Exactly. And Jolene?
When you said that to me, the first thing that popped in my head was I'd just pop in and see family. I'd go to family.
Yeah.
Because I got family everywhere. I'd just be,
spending time with people you love.
Yeah.
But
we don't get to do that quite as much as I would like. So
yeah. Nice. And Myra, how about you?
On my bucket list is Sedona.
It's the donor, very spiritual again, isn't it? Very high vibration.
Yes, it's Colette Baron Reid lived there for about, like, she was called there, she had to move there, and I think 2 years then she had to leave, and I definitely can't do 2 years. But I've even found like an accommodation that does equine divination, and just I'd have to spend a month there, I think, and do all the tours and all the things.
Wouldn't that be amazing, doing imagine doing a spiritual retreat over there? Wouldn't that be cool?
Yes.
And just having it all coordinated, and that'd be super fun.
Because I did the Machu Picchu in 2019. That was amazing.
Wow.
You did do it? Did you?
Yeah.
Did you Did you walk it or did you
I
get?
didn't do the Inca Trail. I did this amazing, it was a guided spiritual tour up the Sacred Valley. And it was
Wow.
me, my sister, our guide, and our own personal shaman.
Oh
So
my God.
we like did two blessings and things every day. And we're lying there halfway up the trail in Machu Picchu, 6:30 in the morning while he's singing to us, and we're lying down. It was just incredible.
Oh,
It was just incredible. Yeah.
isn't it those spontaneous magical moments, isn't it, when you just really learn the most and get. What did you learn on that trip, do you think? What's one of the things that you really learned about yourself while you were there?
I could travel with my sister. That was good. But
Now that you survived the travel.
I'd had this calling since I was about 8 years old. I just wanted to go there. I've always been fascinated with the Incas. But the thing that really took me was in Ollantaytambo, which is halfway up the Sacred Valley. There is a wall there that predates the Incas, and they don't know who built it.
Yeah, because I'd heard a spiritual story that the Incas weren't the first ones there, that it was colonized before them, but they were wiped out, and that there's a lot of sacred history there. And I think also there was a Celestine prophecy written about that area, and they were talking about the vibration of the land and how you can literally be operating in two different frequencies. Do you remember there was like baddies in that story that they were hiding from, and they
too many years since I read it.
They're in a different frequency, and the baddies kind of just ran straight past them, even though they were in front of them, but they were hiding on a different frequency level, essentially. So they'd calibrated out of their perception and awareness because they were living in a different frequency. So I would say like a frequency of love versus that lower vibration, which is
one of the things that drew me the most. We went through one of the museums, was a photo of, I can't remember the name, the guy that discovered Machu Picchu. When it's a photo with it still covered in the jungle and the trees, and I can swear I was there with them when they did that. It was just I've been there, done that, before it was restored.
Wow. Is this the night for you to join Julie? Beautiful Julie's been struggling to get here, and she is a past life regressionist specialist. So if anyone here wants to deep dive into their past lives, seriously connect with Julie. You guys all can connect over Facebook and things, but she does group sessions, and they're amazing. And there's always more to explore when we go into our into the deep realms of our consciousness, isn't it? So it's nice to be able to connect to that inner wisdom. And also, I think what I've found from sessions I've done is that I'm always looking for healing, in this life. So what can I learn about myself, perhaps, that was, or a gift or a skill or a tool that we can bring from other lives and kind of activate them in this life. So certainly lots we can learn through our other interdimensional selves.
Yeah, and I think, just popping in there, I think it's important for whatever you do, whatever journeys you want to go on spiritually or wherever, is to have an intention.
Yeah.
If you have your intention, it just seems to happen easier.
Yeah. And it does, it brings, I guess that's when we're tapping into the deep unconscious well of infinite information to bring about change we're looking for, or transformation. Super cool. All right, Suzanne, welcome. Thank you. We knew you would arrive at the most perfect time. How's your week been, Sue?
Yeah, pretty good. Just very full and busy, but lovely. Thank you. How about yours?
Oh, I've had COVID, so it's been.
Oh yes, of course.
Yeah, it's and it hit the whole family except Gerald. So Reg is in hospital, so he's really struggling. And then Stella got it, and then I got it, and Hannah got it. So we kind of went down like dominoes. And then Gerald and Hannah have just been avoiding us like the plague. Like they literally, Georgia, if I got too close to her, she'd literally jump back. I'm like, I've got babies. But I get it, because it's a huge inconvenience, like it really is. And so I just had to manage my mindset, I could sit in wallowing and self-pity and feeling sorry for myself, or I could go, I can watch Netflix.
Yeah, exactly.
The latter option. I kind of went, it's nice to cancel clients and have no guilt. And And I just prayed all day that Anya would be able to come through. And even I just said, these guys are so loving. If I can't channel because my body's not 100% there yet, then they'll forgive me. But how are we going to know unless we try? Like, we don't know. We don't know what we're capable of until we give it a go. So, she hasn't let me down yet, but it's always the best time for everything, isn't it? So I have done my preparation for tonight. So there's a few things. I've got some exciting news to tell you. I have changed the topic of next month's masterclass. We were going to do dream. I think we're going to do dreaming, but we're actually going to get a special guest speaker. So Adam Barrelay from Crystal Connections is coming in to do a talk with us all. So do you guys know, have you heard of Adam Barrelay before? Hands up if you've seen him, heard of him, know who he is.
I do.
Yes,
He's amazing.
He's he came into membership group a few years ago, and he's so generous, such a beautiful soul. And he said, if you ever want me to come in, I'd be happy to do it again. So I messaged him today, and you know how I put out the intention? I said, I'll let this be easy. Like, sometimes I've gone to so many lengths to get speakers in and emails back and forth, and it was just a quick messenger message, and he's like, yep, I'm in. Okay, what date? This one. Yep, that'll do. And it was just all done and dusted. So it's nice when things happen easily. And Julie, thank you for your contact. I've reached out, and we're going to catch up for a coffee as well. So she's already got me too. So I've got 2 special guest speakers lined up, and Julie's going to come in later in the year, hopefully, fingers crossed, to do some work with us on past life regression. So although I've just dropped her in, hopefully when she's ready, no pressure. So yeah, Adam did ask what kind of experience you guys have. Are you beginners or intermediate? So is there any crystal practitioners in the group? No. So would you put yourself? Have you got?
I've done the advanced crystal healing course, but unfortunately haven't been practicing it. It's still there, but I just haven't been practicing it as frequently as my Reiki and that.
Yeah, perfect. Might re-inspire you to use them, to incorporate them into your healing again. Anyone else, has anyone dabbled or used them while doing sessions or use them for meditation or anything? Myra, you're probably like me, more intermediate.
Yeah.
Intermediate to beginners. That's what I kind of said, more intermediate to beginners. Okay, so we're going to do a bit of a beginner class, and what he said is to bring along a crystal. So grab your favorite crystal, bring it along to the session, and he'll share his abundant wealth with us all. And in the Facebook group, you'll see I've already put his details in, so you can look him up if you want to check him out beforehand. The session details are in the Facebook group, so that's one not to be missed. So if you can make it live, make sure you do. It'll be very cool. I like to get guest speakers in every now and then because it's also a great way to meet new people and just to expand our knowledge, which I think is really cool. Sound good? And if you guys know or have come across any amazing people out there, expert teachers and leaders in different areas that complement what we're doing in here, anything to do with spirituality and healing and intuition and personal professional development growth, then please let me know, just like Julie did today. She's put me in touch with someone she went on retreat with. So we worked together a few years ago. So that is really helpful to just be reminded of some incredible people that you guys have come across as well. So have a think and let me know if there's anyone that you think would make a good speaker. And if you yourself have a special gift and talent, or you'd like to have the opportunity to talk about something that you specialize in or an area of passion that you would like to share with the group, then put yourself forward as well, because we all have amazing knowledge and wisdom to share. So let's all learn and grow together. Sound good? Sweet. Just a reminder as to what's coming up. We Oh, the only thing we haven't heard of is if you could teleport anywhere in the world, Suzanne, where would you go? We were just doing a bit of a fun game before you joined. Where would you go if you could go anywhere in the world?
Hello.
Hey.
I was saying, can I go somewhere in space?
You and Nikki can go into space, absolutely. I'm considering a temple. If we're going to really broaden our horizons, I'd like some gorgeous floating temple in the sky.
There we go.
I did do that actually. I asked Anya for healing while I was sick, and she certainly did help with with making me feel more comfortable. All right. So I did also put a question in where I wanted to set up just a bit of a group discussion before we get into readings. So the first one is, and I did pop it into the Facebook group, so you had a bit of time to think about it. So the first question is, how do you connect with your intuition, your angels, or your guides? Do you have a technique that you follow or a ritual? And yeah, is there anyone that has, since as we've got a nice short group today, we're going to have a lot of people joining on the replay, I think. So what have we got? How many have we got? 1, 2. Yeah, I think we'll split into 2 groups. So let's do that. We'll split into 2 groups. I'm just going to organize a breakout room. So don't worry, I'll do that. Kendall, I'll just, all right, so we've got 2 groups set up. So the question is, and then just go around and share what you do, because it's a great way of just, sharing your process and seeing how many of us do the same thing when we want to get connected with our guides, especially if you're feeling a little bit like me. I'm open to suggestions tonight because I'm feeling very physical right now. All right, does everyone know the question? I think we'll probably have Kendall, how long do you think we'll need? Probably 5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes.
Let's go 6, so it's 2 minutes each, because 2 minutes goes really quick, and there's 3 in each group. So we'll set 6 minutes on the clock. Okay, let's chat. Recording again, just so for those of you that hopefully, if you're watching on the replay, you've had a think about different ways that you like to connect. For me, it's the breath and Reiki. They're the 2 primary ways that I get in connection, and also asking for a beautiful spiritual advisor to do a guided meditation, because meditation, Suzanne's just gone, oh damn, I forgot about that. But meditation, I can do it if you know you can pull something out of your hat. Yeah, meditation is just a wonderful way to relax and open up and just allow the guides to come through. So I heard some great things. I joined one group. Do you guys want to share your favorite reasons or ways to connect?
Okay, I feel like you should.
Yeah,
It's all about me. I'm the talkaholic, remember? No. I agree with Suzanne and Kendall, cards and just listening to the feelings that are coming through. So if you get a sensation that someone's got their hand on your shoulder or the hairs on the back of your neck are standing up, and you don't have the sort of ability to quieten your mind, Kendall said to use cards in order to help reflect and sort of set through your cards and sort of bring that forward. And I'm the same as Lisa in regards of doing Reiki and listening to my breath, as well as I kind of set the attention for my guides to come whenever they want to, whenever they need to be here. So
Okay.
as fast as they want to, I just may not process the information as quick as they want me to, but it's allowing me to also quiet the human form and allow that information to come through when it needs to. So
yeah, beautiful, well said. And the other group, is there a spokesperson in your group?
No, we all spoke.
You all spoke. Is there anyone that wants to share anything? Did you get anything different to that?
Oh, I think we all sort of talked about breath work. Jolene and I sort of talked about checking in at different times of the day, just, taking a pause. I did a sort of course on developing intuition and set a reminder on my phone that would pop up, and it was just, what does Spirit want me to know now? And I actually recorded it, so it starts becoming more real. But much like Nakia, I invite my guides in to have conversations with me,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it? It's hard to believe that there's people out there that don't have this connection and don't know that there's this well of inner wisdom that we can reach into and gain wisdom and understanding from. All right. Well, now you know a little bit more about each other and connected that little bit more, which is nice. All right. Who's ready to channel? If I can't do it, anybody want to put
You can do it, Lisa.
You got
We have
this.
complete faith.
All right. Well, let's I hope you guys have got some questions ready for Anya. Yeah.
There's a few floating around. Could do
Good.
with some more though.
I might. Can I get someone to ask Anya a question from me and just put it in when I least expect it, so I don't come forward? But I'd love to know if there's any significance on why we all got COVID. Like, is there any spiritual reason as to why that happened? I'd love Anya's perspective on it, other than just slowing me the hell down, which is just the obvious answer. I'd like a not obvious answer. Thanks. Something, yeah, I'm curious. All right.
Purging.
So, yeah, and throw that in at the end. Make sure everyone else gets a reading. All right, ready to go, guys? I will, we're recording, which is good. All right, Suzanne, beautiful Suzanne, are you able to guide us into just a little white light? Anything that's just about connecting and building the energy with this beautiful group would be very deeply appreciated.
Okay, I'll make something up.
Thank you. Ask your guides for help.
Okay. You find yourself in a beautiful field, a golden field, underneath a gorgeous day, blue sky, gentle warmth of the sun, and the breeze tickling at the back of your neck. And you gently run your hands over the grass, which is about waist high, and you feel it brushing against your hands. You look around, and in the distance you see a path. So you begin to walk towards it. The path leads you through to the edge of the forest, and you enter the forest and immediately feel the coolness on your skin, twittering of the birds, rustle of the leaves, and the whispering of little creatures all around you that sound happy and joyful in their daily toil. Meander down the path that winds gently through the forest. And as you wander up ahead, you see it begins to get lighter and lighter. Soon you come to a small clearing. And in this clearing is the most beautiful house you have ever seen. Surrounded by beautiful flowers, and it just seems to have an abundance of life all around it. The bees are busy, the birds are singing, and the sun seems to shine very gently but strongly on this beautiful little house. You feel pulled towards it like it's something so familiar, even though you could swear you haven't seen it before. You walk up to the house And you know this house, and you know that you can enter. You don't need to knock. So you gently turn the handle and open the door. Inside the house is comfort and beauty and all the things you love most. Everywhere you look, there's a little treasure here or there. And the feeling is like a big hug and warmth. In this house, in the middle of this house, you know there is a room. So you head towards it. As you get closer to this room, a feeling of great contentment settles on you. And you come to the door. You put your ear to the door. And you can hear a sweet music playing. It brings a smile to your face. And you open this door. And in you go. And in this room, there is a chest. And in this chest is your heart's greatest desire. And you have been keeping it there because it is your greatest desire. And you have wanted to keep it safe and special. But you're ready now. So you go towards the chest and you gently lift the lid. And in there you find your heart's greatest desire and you pick it up and you hold it. You speak to it and you make your plans. And you spend some time just appreciating it. When you are done and you feel all is well and you feel a great excitement about the future and you feel a real joy and lightness in your heart, you hug it and you say thank you. And you place it back and you close the lid. You give thanks. And then you leave the home, you step onto the porch, and you sit in a chair and you sit and rest and close your eyes and feel the sun's warmth on you. And you give thanks. And then you know you are ready to go back now. So you gently walk the path. You gently observe the trees and nature around you. And soon you are back. And you give thanks that it is done.
What a beautiful, beautiful meditation. If that is all we do tonight, we are very satisfied. Suzanne, you speak with such wonder in your voice and in your heart, and as a collective way to bring us all together tonight. We could not thank you more. Perfect in every way, as are you. Namaste, namaste, namaste. We see you, our beautiful friends, gathered here this evening with such love and tenderness for Lisa. She has been feeling, as you all know, unwell and unsure as to whether we will be able to come through tonight. And we are very gentle with her physical body. We only bring positive energy within the physical system. So we know that this is it gives her a positive vantage point to be able to be of assistance to you in this way, and energetically it is like a cleanse for the physical system. So it certainly is not a problem for one to channel when they are feeling slightly unwell, but she is mostly recovered from the virus. So we are ready if there is any questions.
Mara, would you like to go first?
Thank you. Yes. Good evening, Lisa and Anya.
Good evening, Myra.
It's a complicated question. Well, it's not really a question. My adult daughter and I have had the year from hell, to be honest. And when we think we're settling, things ramp up. And at the moment, we are wondering if we are safe, and if there is something we can do to make us more safe.
The most important thing that you can do here is trust your intuition and be very mindful of not indulging in fearful thoughts, for they can take you into a different frequency and a vibration where therefore you can have that tendency to attract that unwanted energy and experience. So we do understand that it is a difficult situation that you are in and have been, but the best thing you can do is follow that internal guidance. That gut feeling will keep you safe. When you love your body and your daughter loves her body, it is naturally aligned to the frequency of love. Therefore, it will not put itself in harm's way. When there is one that has low self-esteem and does not see or feel themselves as worthy, they tend to make decisions that can be questionable in nature, which can lead to encounters that are not wanted. But out of every circumstance of contrast, there is a launching of a desire. And we ask you what collectively is the greatest lesson so far that you have learnt from this encounter, would you say, Myra?
I am more grounded and I'm standing in my power more than I have for a long time. My daughter has very strong energy and has railroaded me quite a bit. And this situation I have had to stand in my power. But things change on a day-to-day basis. And yeah, we're not feeling particularly safe right now.
Yeah. So there is a lot of focus on areas in your life where you feel disempowered and out of control. So we ask you what it is that you actually want to experience. What is the life? What is the ideal situation? And allow us to help you to start to embed that experience and bring that reality into this present vibration. What would the experience be that would be deeply satisfying with and for you at the moment?
To go home.
And to feel safe.
Yeah.
And what else?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, my heart calls me home. My father is unwell, and I'm returning back to New Zealand for a month in May. But I do like Perth, but my daughter doesn't want to be here and doesn't see a situation where she can live without me, even though she is an adult. So, yeah, where I try to, people pleaser, low self-value without a doubt. I just don't, after making so many plans in the past 12 months and having them railroaded by the universe, I'm reluctant to state what I want or even know what I want.
That would be a good place to start, is getting really clear on what your needs are and what it is that you want, and then go about finding how you can do that. And when there are others involved, and we understand that that can add complexities into decisions, especially when it comes to locations, then ask your guidance for a spiritual solution that would be satisfying to you both. But we also feel that to give of your personal desires in order to satisfy someone else's will and usually does end in a feeling of dissatisfaction. You know, whilst it has that temporary satisfaction of pleasing, it's short-lived. It does not, their gratitude does not last long enough for that feeling of disempowerment that comes from not choosing what feels right for you. On the other side, if we look at it and what feels right is looking after and protecting your daughter in a situation where that is wanted, and therefore that becomes the dominant intention and desire, then of course everything lines up to support in that decision, if that's coming from a true desire and need. And we feel that these are movable goalposts at the moment and have been in the past. So based on her capabilities and her experiences and what she's going through, there's been more need from you to parent and to guide and to support her. And we see that there's fluctuations. As she's getting stronger, you can start to pull back a little bit more and be a little bit more focused on what your needs are. But we feel that in the past, you've done what you've needed to do as a mother, and that has felt like the right choice for you.
Yeah,
Even
sure.
if it meant being self-sacrificing for a period of time, her needs became greater than yours, because they were for that period of time. Therefore, you would have felt, had you have, even if you just played out the experience of going and following your desires and not helping, supporting her, we feel that that would not have felt satisfying for you, because it would have had consequences if you hadn't made those decisions at that time. Understand?
Yes, absolutely.
So we feel like the frustration that you have is because when's it going to be my turn? Does this make
Yes.
sense? When is it going to be my turn?
Yes.
Like, there is, one of Lisa's psychologists said to her once, well, when she was complaining about teenage daughters and the difficulties of having them, she said, well, you actually did. She had said something along the lines of, I didn't sign up for this. And tongue in cheek, her psychologist said, well, actually you did, 18 years ago when you gave birth and decided to have children and to bring them into the world. There is a responsibility that is inherent in becoming parents, where there is, and it is also one of the greatest gifts that they give us, is a selflessness and an understanding that at times we do put others' needs above our own. And that can be beautiful at times, and it can also be very devastating and difficult. So we know and feel from you great desire to want to be a wonderful mother. We feel that your natural tendency to care and to nurture can be overridden by a strong personality at times. You can feel as though you've been persuaded into something you didn't want to do.
Yeah, for sure.
And not as much gratitude coming from this one. Almost an expectation and entitlement is what we feel from her.
Yes.
It's complex. So had she have been more grateful, you might not have felt so frustrated about the sacrifices made. Does this make sense?
It certainly does, yeah.
What we would suggest you do is write a letter to yourself from your daughter, saying all the things that you would dearly love to have heard come from her mouth in way of gratitude for everything that she has done, that you have done for her, and read it and bask in it, because we just don't feel she has an emotional security to give of that kind of level of love back to you that we feel there's a craving for, which is causing a lot of the disturbance here. It's a lack of gratitude and appreciation. Does this make sense?
Yes, it does, yeah.
Sometimes we just need to turn on that light ourselves, and we need to find a way to show love and appreciation and gratitude for yourself from yourself. And your guides can help you with this. Tune into them and let them bask all over you, their gratitude and appreciation for who you are and what you've done and the difficult choices that you've made that have helped keep your daughter safe. And yes, you have helped keep your daughter safe. And that's something you can be really proud of. Will this always be as difficult? No, it won't. Everything changes. And this is when we lean in and embrace change, when we're going through difficult circumstances. So it is, change is coming. And we say, really take time to enjoy where you are right now and really get clear on what you want and allow the universe to bring and to yield to you exactly the perfect conditions for your next journey as you start to engage in different places and different ideas around where you want to be. We feel that going home we feel that going home right now is not a permanent move. Lisa hesitates for us to share this with you, but we feel you are ready to hear this and willing, and it is not anything that you would not understand yourself, but you always, as you know, have the decision making that will come from you. Yes. Helpful?
Yes, thank you so much. Yes, I will write a letter. Thank you, Anya. Thank you,
You're
Lisa.
welcome. You're welcome.
Nikia.
Hi, Anya and Lisa.
Hello.
I'm just wanting to ask a quick question on behalf of my husband, who is struggling mentally and emotionally because a couple of the things he desires haven't quite come to fruition. And I'm just wanting to see if one of them is closer than expected to give him a bit of relief, please.
And what is this thing he is wanting?
He's got a Land Rover that's being rebuilt.
And he wants to know when it's going to be completed.
Yeah, he's had it with the person for over a year now, so he's just curious. He has a little bit too much to drink and then sends very passive aggressive messages to the gentleman. So I'm trying to say to him, everything will be as it will be, but just thought you might be able to shed some light on whether or not it's needs to come back, or how that relationship is going.
We feel that the past is a good evidence for you to determine whether this is something that is in your benefit or not. The arrangement has changed over time. The availability of the people that were working on the project has changed over time. So therefore, the static energy of this is what we can feel. We feel like it's static and there's frustration around this. And maybe what is needed, or what we would suggest, is having an open and honest conversation around different options and possibilities, which one of them may be, cutting losses as to where you're at with it. And we feel that circumstances have changed in regards to what was originally desired and set about, or the project was bigger than first thought, and therefore promises that were made are no longer valid. Does this make sense? Or their circumstances have changed, therefore they don't have the time that they once had, or it just feels like the friendship has changed. There's just energy around this that has gone left of what was desired in the first place. And quite often when the frustration comes around agreements made and then promises made and then them not being delivered upon. And when this happens, this is why people going into financial arrangements usually have strict agreements outlaid at the very beginning of the arrangement, because quite often life circumstances change, and therefore you can either lean on what was agreed in the beginning and enforce it, or you can, make a new contract or a new agreement or make a new decision. We always suggest that you look for a fair forward motion, win-win situation where both parties are satisfied. That is not always the case, but it is a the feeling we get around it is that not everything is understood in this situation. Like, should we right, mate? Should we right, mate? Is the feeling we get. Like, we feel like it's happening, but there's no real, it's just too hard to deal with, is the feeling that we're just getting it pushed aside. Does this make sense to you? Yeah.
Yeah, it does to me.
It's like a brushing under the carpet. And there feels like there's a sense there that There's something more important than this that is at stake here. And we feel it's the friendship or the relationship. There's something more at stake that's causing some lack of direct conversation around what's wanted, needed, and what we're going to do moving forward. Does that make sense?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
What is more important, the financial arrangement, the car, or the friendship?
In Michael's perspective, the car is more important. In my perspective, I have resided to my guides and I'm at the level of just get it back and it's all done. Everything's to end financially, friendship, the car's back. We start again. Only because it's been going on for too long and the money is already down the drain.
Yeah. And if it was going to be done, it would have been done by now. If it's already been 12 months.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Have they been friends for a long time? This is me coming back.
7 years.
What was the details with it, Nakia?
Just to be sanded, blasted, and some welding work done on it. We paid the deposit up front, and then he ran into financial hardship. So I put screenshots and contracts in place to say we'll lend you the balance of the invoice in lieu of doing the car, but it means we owe you no more money, deliver the car, basically.
Yeah.
And we asked for progress photos last week and they said, oh, my phone's broken.
Yeah, that's a nice excuse. So basically they're not wanting to do it because they're not being paid, so they don't see that they don't see that there's value in it for them to actually do the work with that information. So yeah, and then this is where it becomes a difficult situation because there has to be an energy exchange, even though they agreed to it at the that makes it difficult. So you might have to cut your losses here and just say, all right, just give me the car back. Have they done any of the work?
When Michael told me the other day what the messages were that exchanged, my first thing my guides did was slap me up the back of the head and go, they haven't done a thing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't have the heart to tell Michael because I don't want to break his heart.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think he knows. He knows. He just needs to make a decision and take action now. And it's hard when you trust people and, you know, hope that they do the right thing, but not everyone operates with that set of ideals, or when people are just strapped for cash or strapped for time, the priority of that job becomes lower on their scheme of other things they need to do. And I feel like I don't feel like there's bad people trying to get out and rip him off. I feel like it's just a circumstance that's difficult. Does that make sense? That it doesn't feel, find a win-win situation if you can, and if not, get your car back and then you can move on, make a different decision. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Anya and Lisa.
You're welcome. Mm-hmm. Oh, you guys are interesting. This is so cool. Is that helpful?
Very.
Life's tough sometimes, isn't it, guys? Really is challenging. All right, who's next?
I was going to cut in and ask a question on behalf of Lisa.
Oh, cool. I better go get out of the way. Bring on your back. All right. Okay, we are ready.
Okay, so Lisa's question is there any spiritual significance on why her and her whole family have got COVID at this difficult time?
Everything can be looked at as a opportunity for understanding life's experience from a deeper spiritual perspective. We feel from Lisa that she was searching for deeper meaning so that she could learn and grow from the experience, but it is a part of life. Becoming unwell, viruses, getting sick, it is all a part of rest and action and activity and being. It is part of the human condition. And while there are aspects of the experience that was definitely unwanted, in terms of Lisa's journey, she took our advice and did very well in leaning into the experience and looking at all the positive aspects of this opportunity that was given to her to rest, to nurture, to relax, and to be waited on, which is the experience that she indulged herself in. Her beautiful husband adores her and was very loving and nurturing and taking care of her and feeding her and Hannah and looking after her and managing everything that he also had to manage. And we asking for spiritual significance. It is an opportunity to see and appreciate loved ones. It is an opportunity to acknowledge and honor the physical system and the body, and to stop and take stock as to how fit and healthy the body ordinarily is. And at times, it's not until you have the contrasting experience of losing your health that you fully appreciate what it feels like just to bounce out of bed in the morning, put on your clothes and get out there and live life with abundance, and with positive energy and attitude. So yeah, we feel the significance of this is just being present. She also was very nurtured by other friends that came and made her laugh and gave her video recommendations to watch. And so what she realized is that in her time of need, she was open to being loved by people who she primarily spends a lot of time nurturing them. It's nice for her to receive and for those to give to her as well. So we see all of these aspects as being spiritually significant. Yeah, there's no more that we have on that situation. Does anyone else have any questions about it that you would like to understand? Nope. Cool. All right. That didn't feel like anything profound. It felt like what I already knew. I remember once saying to Gerald, oh, look, a fox. Like literally I was driving down the street and a fox crossed the street in front of us. I was like, oh my God, I just saw a fox. I wonder what that means. And I was going to look it up, and he's like, it means that a fox just crossed your car. I'm like, ah, peace off. All right. So who's next? Anyone else? Julie.
Hello, Anya and Lisa.
Ah.
Lovely to see you and hopefully hear from you too, Anya. My question relates to my feeling of connection that I have with lineage of the rose and my astral chart. I wonder, Anya, whether you have any understandings of my connection that I feel with that.
Explain to us what the rose is so that we can fully tune the frequency.
Okay, so the lineage of the rose is relating back to, well, there are some goddesses are connected through the rose energy, the lineage, and it can be ancestral. It can be also through Mary Magdalene, but also some Egyptian goddesses like Isis and Sekhmet and others, what they have a rose connection.
And the rose to you, what does that represent?
Well, the symbol of the rose is the unfolding and the transformation that we as people go through in our lives. It's a cycle of the rose. I think that's basically the gist of it.
Yes. So we feel the exploration of this is a very beautiful one for you. It is about unfolding the different aspects of your soul and understanding how those beings of light work with you to inspire and to help you in your life's work. So we feel that anything that taps into that beautiful learning value that you have, that allows you to expand into greater knowing of your divine self, can only be seen as a positive adventure for you to explore. Is it something that is necessary for your happiness? No, it is not. It is an exploration that has been brought into your awareness so that you can understand yourself on a deeper level. But we also suggest there is multitudes of ways in which you can get to know yourself. So we do not say that one way is any better than another. They are equal in that if it causes you a feeling of deep satisfaction and happiness, and you feel as you bask in the energy and the interactions with these beings of light, and that feels deeply satisfying for you, then of course it is exactly a part of your blueprint and a part of your soul's growth and progression in this time. We recognize there is a tendency for many of you, not just you, Julie, but for many of you to see other goddesses in and through the reflection of other people's interpretation of them. The challenge we set for you, if you are open to being challenged, is to have a communion and have a relationship with the aspect of them that blends with your soul in a way that is unique to you, Julie. We see that they're here to help you in expressing your gifts in the work that you do, both for yourself and for others, and creating a path and a frequency with which you can channel wisdom and guidance and bring forth their input and their understanding and their energy in order to help those that you are working and connecting with in physical form. So it is a beautiful marriage, as we see, of an energetic counterpart that has been brought into your awareness. It is connected to your blueprint, connected to the lineage with which you were born into this planet, and we see it as a wonderful expression for you to explore. So yes, play, engage. We feel that you'll find resonance with particular music and song that will deeply connect you to those beings of light, but they're here, they're with you, they're ready, and they can't wait to explore through your vibration and frequency, through your being. There is much, much, much to exchange.
Thank you.
We suggest, if you would like a tip on how to start to embody their energy and essence, we suggest that you keep a dream journal by your bed, and as you awake, start to document the dreams and the messages, and set the clear intention before you go to bed. Goddesses that are here, that are loving me, that are in the frequency, and even visualizing the rose, please bring messages and guidance through while I slumber tonight, so that I may be of service to those who are in need. And we say this if that is what you choose and what it is that you are wanting to do, Julie, because it has to come from your heart in desire.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
That was helpful.
Beautiful, beautiful frequency, beautiful energy. Do you find it interesting at the point in which we lost contact with you earlier today on the phone?
It was interesting, wasn't it?
It was very interesting. We just wanted to make sure that we didn't leave without reflecting back to you just how far you have come, just how much you have learnt, and just how much you have opened your beautiful heart to that of spirit and the divine. And we want you to know, beautiful, beautiful Julie, there is nothing that you need to do in order to be worthy and in order to be in alignment and in order to be an open-hearted, pure channel for the divinity that you've called forth. It's already here for you. Nothing needed, just simply and allowing them. You understand? The apprenticeship's over. We've said this to you before.
Thank you.
We'll
And
say
the synchronicity is after I was writing my journal, I went to the lounge room. Simon was on YouTube watching a lady called Claire, somebody talking about Joe Dispenza and Mary Magdalene. And
It was
it's,
so,
you know, it's the combination.
I couldn't believe it
Sorry,
that
go
I
on.
was talking to you and I was literally just saying, Jolie, you're such an expert. Oh my God, you know how I was giving her shit because it was me, not Anya. She's a bit more diplomatic. And then literally your phone must have died. Did your battery run out?
No, I don't know. I thought it was you.
No, my battery was fine, Julie. I looked at it and I'm like, my phone's fine, my battery was there, and I just assumed your battery must have gone.
Mine too.
Did you assume?
No, I mean, now it's 14%, but it's been fine all day.
So it's
very
mine.
strange.
It literally hung up right at that moment when I'm like, you're
Yes, well,
amazing. for just
so be it, you know, the universe.
it was probably like 11:11, just like, you guys getting this, just to make sure we heard the message.
It's
We're
funny,
so hard
it's
on
funny,
ourselves, aren't we?
life,
We just
eh?
don't realize how amazing we are. And we do this, like even myself, I'm totally guilty of the exact same thing, Julie. Just playing small. And we
Yes.
need beautiful friends to remind us of who we are and what we're capable of. Because
Yes, we do. Yeah, very, very important. And I love the energy of this group.
Isn't it gorgeous?
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Thank you.
Well, love
Thank you,
you too.
Anya. Thank you, Lisa.
You're welcome. All right. Is there any other questions?
I think that was it, unless I missed anyone.
What about you, Kendall? Did you have a question? Or Suzanne? Jolene, not today. Suzanne.
I can always ask one, but if anyone else
Yeah,
would
go
like
for
to.
it. Please.
I just feel like I'm coming to the end of the cycle and that it's time for me to let some things go. Oh, sorry. Good evening, Anya and Lisa. Apologies for my rudeness.
We're with you, Suzanne. It's okay. You can launch in. We love it.
Yeah, thank you. Well, thank you for listening to my question. But yeah, I feel like I'm coming to the end of the cycle and it's time for me to be letting some things go that are that I've been holding on to, that have kept me maybe a bit small, not fully in my power. And I was just after some advice on what that might be or what might help me to release that and move forward.
It's a confidence thing that comes from just taking action, Suzanne. Your guided meditation tonight was divine. Your abilities and your natural expression of your heart is so pure. There is nothing needed from you other than you just to be you. If there's areas of your life that you would like to turn away from and drop, then let them go naturally. They will slowly ebb and flow when you shift your focus from them. You see if there's a different arrangement you want to make within, is it work or personal or family? What is the area that you want to let go of? Let us tune
It's
in.
more about emotions that might be holding me back. Like of a cluttered house, I feel like I play the victim or play small at work. In my health, I don't look after myself. There's things I'm just not stepping up to.
There's an aspect of you that's very difficult where we feel that there's two aspects of self. There is one that is very strong and confident, and there is also an aspect that feels very needy and dependent and scared and afraid. And welcome to being a human. Did nobody tell you that that was a part of life? You know, we witnessed a beautiful exchange with Lisa today, and it's something that we recommend you do, where you simply acknowledge the shadow side as you just have done, and you write down, you know, on one side of the paper all the things about yourself that kind of sit in secret, like like I get jealous, or I feel angry, or I become needy, or I obsess about people. And we're talking about Lisa's right now, not yours. And she's aware of, she's happy for us to share these things. Where there is anger or judgment or fear. And then on the other side, all human emotions, right? All the just negative ones that we don't like to admit to others, but we know we all feel at different times. And you could even range through 3 or 4 of these in a day, yes. Even as Lisa has been vibing quite high today, she got very angry right before we started this evening, and so there is that expression of anger, and that is okay. It is part of the human experience and her lack of being able to control her environment. So therefore there was anger at not being in control and having fear around disappointing you guys. So on the other side of that, there is also an aspect that you have come to know within yourself very well, Suzanne. So when we say to start to jot down the opposite of anger, which may be for you peace, the opposite of jealousy might be acceptance, there could be love, joy, companionship, spirituality, friendship, attunement, alignment, healing, gratitude. The antidote to worry might be grace, not gratitude. Who knows? So when you jot down these lists on one side and jot down the lists on the other, and you start to then ask, what is the opposite for me? What is the spiritual aspect versus what is the human aspect? And start to draw a line across. And what happens is we start to lean more into, as you so beautifully said, letting go of the self-critical, the self-doubting, the self-judgment aspect of self, which has just been passed down generationally. So there are certainly healing modalities that can help you to separate from that identification with that aspect of self, which is the human programmed aspect of self, and leaning more into the spiritual aspect that knows that you're perfect no matter what, that knows that you're loved and loving and worthy of love, and don't need to stop playing small, because underneath it is when we stop doing something, it's almost making that wrong. Instead of stop playing small, we would suggest that you just allow yourself to shine, to allow yourself to unfold, allow yourself to gently find your way in the world in a way that feels like you just gently bubble up to the surface. Does that make sense? We feel for you, it has to be a gentle movement. It doesn't want to be like, wow, shine the light on me. Like, we feel how difficult this was for you to step up and do this tonight. We know that it was and probably best that you didn't really think about it too much. It was pushed to the back, so you didn't have to think that this was something you'd be called to do, that it was almost like, oh, that's right. So it's allowed to be a gentle unfolding. It's allowed to be a slow movement into more self appreciation and into more understanding, and acknowledging that in the very same experience you can have absolute beauty and divinity. There was nothing we would have changed with your guided meditation, and I'm sure the other girls here will say this to you as well. It was perfection. And you also had anxiety and fear around doing it, and you were scared, and it was like, welcome to the world of spirituality, where 2 different conflicting things can exist in the one very same moment, right? But there was a surrender that took place, and there was a courage that you have within you. You didn't need to let go of anything. It just bubbled up naturally, because you have a desire to serve, and you have a desire and a love for Lisa. And isn't it true that love overrides any fear? And so that love and desire to nurture her in this moment is one of the gifts, one of the other gifts that COVID has brought in this moment. Yeah. And all of you do that for her, right? You all hold space for Lisa so that she can bring us through. It is you and your love for her and your desire to see her express in this way, because you know it is so meaningful for her, that allows this whole exchange to take place. It would not be, and it is not the same, you know, without you here, you see. So we feel that you're perfect just the way you are, beautiful Suzanne. But we understand what you mean.
Thank you so much, Anya and Lisa.
That was beautiful.
Mm.
She really feels you, Suzanne. That was beautiful. You okay? Did you feel that?
Yeah,
Man.
in my heart. Thank you. It was so beautiful.
Right, back to you, gorgeous. All right. Has everyone, so only Kendall hasn't had a reading. Have you got a question?
Jolene.
And Jolene as
Yes,
well.
and Jolene.
Kendall and Jolene. What if we do a card reading for you guys? Do you want to do a quick card reading?
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see what we get. All right, who are we going to go first? Kendall, did you have a question or anything specific, honey?
No, but when you mentioned shadow, I just remembered a terrible memory. I just remembered the other morning I woke up and was like, it's time to work on shadow, which I've been avoiding for like 4 years. But I have no question. It just reminded me that I was going to look into that.
Perfect. Okay. So the card that I've pulled out for you, Kendall, is when a witch must drink their brew.
I get that card all the time.
Let's see what it means. Do you?
Yeah. Especially the last couple of weeks.
Okay. This is about, to me, I'm just going to tune in and see what Anya says about it before I read the card. This is about indulging in the magic and the mysterious aspect of self, Kendall. It's unfamiliar for you, which is why we know it's not that dominant place you go, because the intellect and the knowledge and the understanding and the logical is your safe place. But we feel that moving into the mystical and knowing yourself from this deeper vibration and frequency will bring about a lot of joy. It's about a lot of here, it's about speaking your truth and starting to play with this a little bit. It doesn't have to be serious. We want it to be fun for you. Excuse me, coughing. So do you trust in your own magic? You should. There's no one like you, and your essence is brimming with life force and purpose unique to you. This is your magic elixir, so drink it down and cast off what doesn't serve you. Being fully yourself is what's required right now. Nothing less will do. Yes, it takes courage to cast off the spell of society with all its expectations, manipulations, restrictions, and claim your true expression. This feels like giving yourself permission to be exactly as you are, to be both spiritual and logical. You know, we all are a mix of that, aren't we? We're very human, we're very spiritual, and it's about dancing between the two elements of self and getting to know that there can be this synergy between you, so that there's that deep inner knowing and there's that deep authenticity as you start to express yourself in the world only organically when it feels right. Does that make sense? It's like when it feels appropriate. Do you worry about the consequences as well? What if you won't fit in? There are times when a new world is being birthed. Your truest note in the symphony of life can only be played by you. So the question with this is about, don't do anything that goes against what feels right for you in the moment. If it doesn't feel right to share your spiritual self with a particular person, then don't. Guard it with your life. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to share it with anyone that doesn't deserve to know that aspect of you. It's sacred, it's precious, and it doesn't, others don't don't have to see that in order to express it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And it's about moving through the world in a way that feels safe so that you can be who you are in, you know, here for example, and be that vulnerable, beautiful person and shine your light in a way that's unique to you. But it's also about knowing that boundaries are okay as well. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
Like it's okay to have like the work me and the home spiritual me. Like it's also okay to have different ways in which you resonate. We're all I listened to a beautiful interview. I'm total fangirling at the moment. I'm obsessed with it. I have this tendency to have loving obsessions with people, and I can't remember her name. What's her name? She's an actress. She was in Oppenheimer, that movie. What's her name?
Was Emily Blunt in that? I haven't seen it yet.
No. Yeah, that's her. Yeah, her. Yeah. So total fangirling on Emily Blunt. She's just the coolest, and I love interviews with her. She's just so awesome. And I got sidetracked. I forgot my point now. What was I talking about?
Maybe she has two sides.
Oh, that's what she was saying. She was saying about going to work, and she was talking about a movie that she was in with her husband, and she was saying that when she went to work, there's kind of like a work you and a home you, and the two are quite different. Like when you step into your workspace, it's different. There's a different element, and I kind of really resonated with that we do. You know, there's the home me, and then there's the work me. So can we be totally authentic in all different aspects of our life? I don't think we are really, because you know we have different relationships, and different people get to see different aspects of us, and I think that's what makes us diverse and beautiful, right? And it's a gift when someone allows us into the vulnerable, but not everyone gets that, nor should they. Yeah, especially those that are going to, you know, laugh or ridicule. Why would we let them into our tender heart when we're trying to figure out how something fits with us?
Yeah, that's the fear, right? Yeah.
All right.
Thanks.
Jolene, lucky last,
Mm.
sitting quietly in the corner.
Yeah, I'm very quiet at the moment.
Did you have a question or anything specific you would like to know?
No. I've got lots of stuff going on at the moment, so I can't think of anything specific. I've just got so many things. I've got people pulling me here, there, and everywhere. I'm just, yeah.
Okay, so what is it the spirit wants Jolene to know today? Okay, so the feeling for you is that I'm scared to let go and surrender and to love. I just feel like no. I feel like I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. Does that make sense? Like there's some, it's like I'm just waiting for the shit to hit the fan. And I feel like I'm in this state of anxiety. And there's just this feeling of, I'm just wanting a retreat from the world. So everything's just saying, stop, everyone just fuck off. Does that make sense? Like
Oh, yeah.
can just go, off you go. And it's
I have actually said that to a few people.
And it's okay. It's okay, because this is about boundaries. You need boundaries right now because there is a lot on your plate. You're not imagining that. There's a lot that you're navigating right now. And I feel like in order to get through the turbulence of this, because there's a lot of things that are uncomfortable. Does that make sense to you, Jolene? The feeling around this is just being very mindful as to who gets you right now, putting up some boundaries, and if people don't like it, they'll get over it. Like it's okay to say no, and it's okay to, you'll come back to them later, right? I also feel like your soul connection is really important right now. That's what's going to get you through. So you're like, I'm in the dark. I don't know how to get through this. I'm in the dark and I'm overwhelmed. The light is your practice, your spiritual practice, your belief, your Reiki, your connection to self, more important than others, connection to self. So find a way to bring in that spiritual wisdom for yourself, and know that it will cut through the crap. Does that make sense? It's like the feeling I get for you is have you ever walked outside after it's been raining and everything's shiny and smells divine, and the sun's just dancing off the leaves of the trees, and it's just like that new energy's coming in. Yeah. So just hang in there. Do you want to know what the card says?
Yes.
See if it's different to what I just got. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
So this is, I'll show you the card as well for those of you that want to see it. So waiting for the other shoe to drop, expectation of failure as a means of self-sabotage, fear of success, not trusting in the good fortune. Sometimes when good things are presented to us, we keep our guard up because we're still expecting the worst to happen. We exaggerate our fears, we get triggered and begin to speak about what's missing, what does not work, what could go wrong, or why we shouldn't attempt something. We may genuinely want to push it away, rationalizing that we won't get it perfect. That feels really like spot on for you. As I read that, I'm just like literally going, like it.
With some things, yeah.
Yeah. This mindset is actually a way to exert control over an outcome. You can neither fail nor succeed when you keep yourself suspended, staring at the proverbial shoes falling from the sky. It's easier to remain in status than to take the risk and move towards your dream or take action to build something better. This card gently, I wasn't being very gentle, but the card was gently to tell you it's time to shift your thinking. Nothing will ever be perfect, and there will always be a shoe that drops here and there. That's life. If you don't step towards your dream, you'll regret it. So summon up the courage, and the dream weavers will weave their magic of protection around you and shower you with love. All the shoes may fall from the sky in some other universe, but not yours, Jolene. The other message is when you take one step towards spirit, they take 10 steps towards you. It's a co-creative exchange and energy. And remember, you're working with more than just yourself here. Okay, as you start to tap in and open to the divine wisdom that is here to guide, love, nurture, and support you. The reality here is you can't really get it wrong. Okay. It's about opening to new experiences, trusting that you'll always find the answers, no matter what happens, no matter hiccups that you come across, you'll figure it out because that's what you do. We all do that, right? We all have an ability to land on our feet. And if we fall, we dust ourselves off and we get up and we go again the next day, right? So it's all doable. It's the feeling that I get around this. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a mindset reshuffle here, mindset reshuffle as well. Easy to fall into these patterns too, Jolene. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know whether I'm falling in or being dragged into them, and I'm retreating from a lot of external pressures there. So I'm just like, yep, no, I'll just tuck myself away and
that's okay too.
and focus on me a little, but yeah.
And that's where you build your energy back. Yeah. When you're getting pushed and it's feeling too much, retreat, figure out what you want as well so you can communicate your needs. Yeah.
Yep. Thank you.
Right. Awesome. Sounds good. Sounds very good. All right, guys. Well, we did it. I don't know what time it is. Does anyone? Oh, look at that. 7:38. Perfect. We did it. Thank you, guys.
Good job, Lisa.
Hey.
Good job. You did it.
No. All right. Just quickly remember before we go, we have live reading in Perth. So an in-person event coming up Tuesday the 23rd of April. So 6:30 to 8 p.m. Love to see you if you can make it. Sorry for those of you that aren't in Perth and can't come, but we will tell you how the night goes. And I know Nick and Jolene will see you in Perth very soon. It's very exciting. I can't wait.
See you on the 2nd.
I know. It's coming fast. I was ordering your master workbooks, so they should be coming soon, getting them delivered soon. It's very exciting. All right. And thank you, Suzanne. Thank you, Kendall, for being awesome tech support and energy support and just being beautiful people. And thanks, Julie, for coming, and everyone else for being here. I love that you showed up and focused on learning and being and supporting. So I love this group. It's beautiful. And for those of you that are watching in replay, I hope you enjoyed the session. Reach out, share your comments, feedback in the Facebook group, get in there and chat and connect and communicate. I'm also going to put a link to a questionnaire that I have created. It was more to be sent out the first month after people joined, and whether I did or not then, I don't know whether it went out, but I know a few of you filled it out. But if you didn't do it, it's a good chance to just connect back in, and that way I can find out what your needs are, and just reach out if you've got anything that you want to experience in Spiritual Circle. Let me know. And I'm